Oh, if I had the wings of an angel, over these prison walls I would fly. Here's your room for the next 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or 120 days or however many days you might deserve for your offense in the eyes of the justice. By the way, if you were thinking you could just climb over those walls you're looking at, you didn't consider they had wall shackles, you see, attached to your leg with a chain and, of course, the wall. Prison rules. No prisoner will be permitted to retain in his possession any clothing, money, or other private property, but must deliver the same to jailer who will return it to the owner upon his legal discharge from jail. Every prisoner must wear the prison dress furnished him by the jailer. No prisoner will be allowed to hold any conversation with the sentries, guards, or anyone else employed about the prison, nor give or receive anything to or from them, but must in all cases make known his wants to the jailer personally. Tobacco in any shape or form, opium or intoxicating drinks or drugs must not be used by any prisoner unless, in the opinion of the physician of the jail, they are necessary for the preservation of health. Strict cleanliness must be observed, and prisoners must not spit on the walls or the floor of the cells or the buildings, nor deface these by writing, drawing, or otherwise. Prisoners must be careful not to break or damage the night tubs, pots, pans, spoons, or anything else used about the prison or in connection therewith. They must avoid tearing or otherwise injuring their clothes, blankets, hammocks, etc. Every noise of whatever kind of nature, be it talking, laughing, singing, whistling, or otherwise, is strictly prohibited. At the ringing of the first bell in the morning, every prisoner must rise, put his hammock in order, and swing it to its place. In 5 minutes from that time, the second bell will be rung, and he will then take his night tub and form in line with the other prisoners of his ward in the passage, and at the word march, proceed to the yard and deposit the tub in the place set apart for that purpose, after which he will wash his entire person with soap and water. At the hours appointed for all meals, all prisoners not in the hospital will form in line and so proceed to the dining room where, observing strict silence, they shall take the seat allowed to them by the jailer. Every Saturday, the prisoners shall fall into line and produce for inspection their clothes, blanket, hammock, etc., and wash and mend the same so often as in the opinion of the jailer may seem necessary. Prisoners will be shaved and have their hair cut by a person appointed for that purpose so often as in the opinion of the jailer may be necessary. Any prisoner found gambling or stealing will be summarily punished. Every prisoner, when ordered by any luna to perform any lawful work, must do so promptly and without making any remark tending to interfere with the discipline of the prison. Any prisoner violating the foregoing rules and regulations will be punished by flogging, solitary confinement, placing in irons, reduction of food, shaving the head, or the pump or shower bath in the discretion of the chief warden. The above rules and regulations for the new prison were approved by His Majesty and Privy Council, August 27, 1857. And let that be a warning to you now. Do you hear me? Of course, now here's a list of all the various kinds of crimes and misdeeds that you might have encountered while here occupying the land in Lahaina. And you can see that different offenses resulted in various numbers of convictions. You can determine the conviction rate versus the crimes charged by type of crime as well. And speaking of crimes and punishments, offenses: number 1, drunkenness. Number 2, adultery and fornication. Well, those sailors coming back from sea had sort of one thing in mind: assault and battery, not surprising, in the number 3 spot. Furious riding, well, kind of like speeding in your car today. Larceny, breaking the Sabbath. Profanity, you guys be in a lot of trouble. Disturbing the quiet of the night, breaching the peace, right? Lascivious conduct, drinking awa, malicious injury, bigamy, housebreaking, gambling, selling spirits without license, violating license laws, gross cheating, felonious branding, 0 for 2 years, and then they went into a hot streak, shall we say. Carrying deadly weapons, cruelty to animals, common nuisance, aiding a deserting seaman. Ooh. And giving birth to bastard children, perjury, perverting justice, furnishing intoxicating drink to natives, kind of like the Native Americans back in the mainland, receiving stolen goods, breaking the peace, selling awa without license, vagrancy, manufacturing intoxicating drink, lewd conversation, affray, inciting to breach of the peace, violating the Road Tax Act, violating fish taboos, truancy from school, neglect of parents to send children to school, and all other offenses. Unlike being bludgeoned to death, the penal code might attempt to, well, codify, normalize, and create consistency within the various types of offensive that constituted crimes, as well as punishments. During the reign of Kamehameha III, the Hawaiian Kingdom's longest ruling monarch, Western influences contrived to create a constitutional monarchy, as we've noted in another video, with formalized rights and law. By the 1840s, the number of whalers, missionaries, and other foreigners in Lahaina increased dramatically, and the Hawaiian Kingdom experienced rapid change. Western concepts were taking hold and affected the standards in all aspects of life in the Hawaiian Islands, inspiring a penal code passed on June 21, 1850, the first time that criminal codes were written for the sovereign nation, or at least the then sovereign nation of Hawaii. The principles of English common law were adopted as a foundation of the code and established definitions for crimes, offenses, their punishments, as well as law enforcement, arrests, and imprisonment. Problems soon arose when the laws became too complex and were misinterpreted by lower court officials. Police justices were given the same power as judges of the superior court. Not exactly separation of powers. Kanaka Maoli Hawaiian commoners found the new system difficult to understand because it was different from the chiefly feudal system of crime and punishment they recognized, as well as law and order. As a result, there was a tendency to circumvent the new legal system of the haole. Well, I'm stuck in Lahaina prison for drunken larceny. And when I get out of this place, I'll head back off to sea until another port or returning here again. Wiser? Maybe or maybe not.